All right, we are live. This is Bill Brownchick, your host, and this will be streaming on 3 platforms. My Facebook personal page, which is 5,000 people plus 3,000 followers, the Creative Real Estate Financing group on Facebook. If you don't know about that, if you're watching on another platform, check that out on Facebook. And we've got about 4,000 people there. And my YouTube page, YouTube/Brownchick. Which has about 15,000 followers. So don't know how many people will be watching live on this stream today, but I'm sure you'll be catching the replay at the very least because I have a very special guest today. And this format is kind of casual and informal where I interview people who are players in the industry, just people who go out and do real estate deals and want to talk about them, share them as a way to educate, inspire, and motivate you to go out and do real estate deals. Because you know how everyone says, Steve, there are no deals. All right. There's no deals. There's no deals in this market. Can't make deals. Can't do deals. It's impossible. It can't happen. It's too hot of a market. You can't find deals. Right. So I brought on Steve, who is originally from Japan and, made the American dream here in America by doing real estate investing, among other things. And has done like 125 houses you've done?
206.
206. Wow. Oh, excuse me. Okay, 206 deals. And you currently own how many rentals?
57.
57. Single family, multifamily, or both?
Mostly single family home. I have 4 units, two units.
All right, great. And so, a lot of people have excuses about why they can't do real estate deals. The obvious one is you come from another country. Did you speak English when you came here?
I could read, but I couldn't speak.
Okay. And so, people say, well, I'm not a good talker, or this is my excuse, or that is my excuse. So you had an impediment coming to America doing business that, not speaking the language. You obviously are fluent in it now. And obviously you hustle because 200 and something deals, that's a lot of deals. And that's over what period of time, Steve?
15 years.
15 years. That's some pretty serious investing, pretty serious hustling. And I applaud you for that and congratulate you for your success. It's great to see people come here to America and, as I assume legal immigrants and make the American dream happen. It's really great. So where are you based out of?
Right now, I'm located in Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago, Illinois. And your area where you buy and sell houses and rent houses, is it in Chicago proper or in the suburbs? Where?
Yes, right now most of my rental property in Chicago City.
Wow.
I did a lot of fix and flipping in suburbs too, but right now all my rentals are in Chicago. But also I started buying property in northwest of Indiana. I just bought 2 properties in northwest of Indiana.
Oh, great. So when you go to collect your rents in Chicago, do you carry a 9mm, a 45, a shotgun, or armed security guards?
I never receive any cash or directly.
I'm sure you do all EFT now, right?
Right.
Your tenants are not. So I assume you're not buying burnt out buildings in the bad side of Chicago, right? You're doing it on the decent side.
Yes, I started with the most dangerous area, of course. That was actually anyway. Maybe I can say the name of the neighborhood. It's called Inglewood. I started my business in the Inglewood neighborhood. I was buying like a $7,000, $10,000 range. I wholesale $15,000, $20,000. That is how I started this business. Right. But actually, that is a 20-25 minutes drive range. That's why I started in my backyard.
Right. I remember back in the old days, in the early 90s, I used to buy houses downtown Denver on an American Express card for $7,000 or $8,000 and flip them for 14, 15. Those houses are worth $500,000 now. I mean, who knows? Okay. But yes, I understand what you're saying. That you probably don't want to be a landlord in a neighborhood where you need a gun in broad daylight, or otherwise you get shot. At night, well, that's a little different. At night, neighborhood that's borderline could be a little scary. But as a rule, I don't buy houses if I'm going to pull up to a red light and get shot for being in the wrong gang. I'm not buying that neighborhood. So I applaud you for picking the right areas to invest. And tell us about your first deal, how you got started.
Okay. I started this business February 2007, and right before the market is crashed. And then at the time, I was focusing on short sale. And
Good time.
honestly, it took 2 years. It took 2 years and a month to close my first deal. And my first deal was short sale, and I did the wholesale.
And
Before
tell us about the deal. Do you remember the numbers at all, or the?
Yeah, of course, I remember. Okay, I remember. That's the property is located in the Westchester, the very west of Chicago. And then my purchase price. Honestly, I found this property on the for sale by owner website. I saw that the seller was selling for over $160,000. I was thinking this is too high, and I called the owner directly, and I was asking why this price. And she said that that's the amount of the mortgage.
Right.
I introduced a short sale, that she agreed to do that, and then I bought this property for $103,000.
Okay. You beat the bank up from 165 down to 103 on the
103. Yes.
Okay. And then what'd you do with it?
This is a double closing. I used transactional funding to buy property, and I sold it for 135.
Nice. So you made almost 30 minus a little closing costs. So you probably made about 25 G's in that?
Actually,
20.
That was a very expensive transactional funding. Therefore, I paid this guy 10 grand. Then
that's not bad for a first deal. A lot of people lose money on their first deal. So you made 10 grand on a house that you didn't fix.
Right. Nothing.
Right. And you didn't rent, and you didn't, you didn't have to use any of your own money, I assume, other than a small earnings deposit.
Exactly.
Right?
That's right.
All right. That's great. And so I assume from 2007 and probably until like 11, were you doing a lot of short sales in that time period?
Yeah, I did a lot of wholesale, more than 40 of them. At the same time, from the fourth year, I started more fixing, flipping. Also, I started holding rental properties. Then, actually, from the fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, all together, I could hold 30 rental properties. And I flipped almost same amount or more. I flipped to therefore 50-50 flipping. I stopped wholesaling from the end of the fourth year. I started holding rental properties, and I flipped too. And then from the seventh, eighth year, I hold another 20 rentals. Therefore, I reached my 50 rentals by the end of the eighth year. Therefore, 2016.
Great. That's awesome. That's and what's your and how do you finance these rentals? Do you get loans or?
Yes. No, that's my 15 years ago when I started this business. I was learning so many things, but I couldn't understand so much. Therefore, I was seriously talking to myself, how can I win this game? How can I win this game? The answer came, that's a kind of inspiration.
Right.
That answer was, if I find property more than anybody else, I can win this game. If I can find the money more than anybody else, I can win the game. That's why I seriously talking to the people, and then I learned how to approach people to raise money. And I talked so many people, I could raise lots of private lenders' money. Therefore, I bought most property using private lenders' money. Only 3 times I used hard money lenders' money, but mostly private lenders' money. And then I used bar strategy. I bought, fixing up, renting out, and refinance with a commercial loan. Then I kept property under my company name. This is how I bought most of the properties. At the same time, I started doing a little bit seller financing type thing. For most cases, I bought using private lenders' money, but at the same time, I started using seller financing, land the contract.
Great. So the rentals you bought, or the fix and flips, or your rentals you bought with a private money, or both?
Both.
So most of your rentals these days are seller financing or private money, not bank money.
That's right. And that originally, I think that was a 2000. Therefore, that's the fourth year after I hold about 10 rental properties. One local bank approached me and saying that they're gonna give you like a $1 million business line of credit, or they can refinance entire my portfolio. Which one I should choose? That was their question. I chose to have a commercial loan to refinance my entire portfolio. Therefore, every time I have 5 or more rental properties, I could refinance with the commercial loan.
That's great. And that's like a local commercial bank in Chicago?
Right.
And that's the secret a lot of people don't know. They go to mortgage brokers who deal with Fannie and Freddie, and you know how those rules are.
Right.
Or they go to big banks like Chase or U.S. Bank or Wells Fargo, and they're not much better. You have to have a working relationship with a local commercial branch bank because they don't rule by rules so much as they rule by committee.
Right.
If they like Steve, they're going to lend to Steve.
Right. That's
Steve
right.
puts his money in this bank, we're going to give him more money.
Exactly. Yeah, I could make a personal relationship with the director of the commercial department.
Right. And so now you have like 50 something properties. So what's your, I guess this is public, so maybe the IRS doesn't want to know this, but approximately what do you net in a month in cash flow on your rentals?
Cash flow, I can say that my gross rental income $89,000 a month.
Wow. All right. So that's a sizable chunk. Even if 20% of that is net, that's pretty good. And that's, I assume you're full time in real estate right now.
Yeah, from the beginning, I have been full time.
You've been full time since 2007.
Right, because I quit my restaurant job. I was managing Japanese restaurant. I quit first. Then I started business. From the beginning, I didn't have any other job. That's why I'm moving forward.
Swim. That's a good way to be. When you're really motivated, when you got to put food on the table for yourself and your family.
Right.
That'll motivate you. That'll motivate you for sure.
I cannot go back. Some people.
That's right. It's like burning the ships. No retreat, right? So now, tell me your main business model now is what?
Yes.
Rental.
Yeah, I try to have more rental properties. And also gradually, I'm gonna buy more multi-family too. Right now, I 50-50. I'm gonna buy in cash. I'm gonna buy in terms both 50-50. I buy live in nice house. I try to avoid distressed property as much as possible. I buy property that needs a little bit work, cosmetic work, like a $20,000-$30,000. Then I'm gonna do lease option. That's my main business model.
Okay.
And then still I buy a little bit kind of distressed property, but still I'm gonna do lease option. And then,
so you buy them distressed people, not distressed properties.
Distressed properties.
So you buy properties that are in relatively good condition. You clean them up, get them ready, for market, and then you sell them on a rent to own.
Right. Rent to own lease option. That's my main strategy. Yes.
Okay, and that's very good for this market because of course it's a great rental market as a landlord, and with prices, continuing to go up, you can pretty much get. I'm sure you're getting a pretty penny on the resale number. You're selling it to the tenant. So if they buy it, you make a good profit. If they don't, it goes up even more, and you sell it for even more. Right.
Right. Therefore, I'm talking to our members that my students, in this kind of sales market, maybe we should make money from the buyer side, not from the seller side. Therefore, 1 week ago, I bought one completely rehabbed house in cash.
Okay.
I haven't done anything. I just bought it, completely rehabbed the house. Then in 4 days, I put the property on the market for $40,000 higher than my purchase price.
Wow.
Then,
as a cash deal or as a lease option deal?
Lease option deal.
Oh, okay, great. How do you usually mark your properties up? Let's say property's worth $500,000, and you buy
my purchase price range. Okay, nice property is like $200,000 to $250,000. That's my purchase price.
Okay. What would that property be worth? If it was
$300,000.
Okay, so you're buying them at a reasonable discount.
Right.
And you sell them for what? If it's worth $300,000, what are you selling them for on a lease option?
Okay, I'm doing 3 lease option right now, and then I almost finalized 2 lease option tenant buyer. This is a number. And I bought for $127, and that's a little cheaper price. And then I spent $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put on the market to sell for $275,000.
Wow, that's quite a markup.
And then
Quite a markup.
I already finalized lease option term buyer. The monthly rent is $1,900. Then I didn't refinance yet. I bought in cash, honestly.
Right. So you bought it cash and then put a tenant in there on a rent to own and then refinanced it?
Refinanced. Therefore, I'm going to get $180,000 loan. $170,000, 70% loan to value, maybe around $180,000. My monthly payment is $1,000 or so, $1,100, including PITI. Then my monthly rental income, $1,900.
So you're clearing $800 a month on that.
Right. That's right.
That's right. 10 grand a year, right? So 10 grand. And how much money is still on the table on that property? So you refinanced it, but you didn't get all your cash back, right?
No, I'm going to get all money back.
You got all it back.
Right. Therefore, $127,000 to purchase, and I spent $50,000 to rehab. Then value goes up to more than $270,000. I'm going to take.
You got an appraisal based on the new value and got 70% of that.
Right.
And that was your local commercial bank who did that?
No, that's I don't know how to call this. Not the regular. No, this is not the regular bank. Okay, like I call private institutional lenders.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting because usually I wasn't aware of many banks that would do an immediate 70% appraisal in less than a year.
Oh, there are lots of lenders do that.
Lots of lenders are doing that now.
Right.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's very good. And that's a good strategy for those of you who are listening and watching. You buy it cash. If you don't have cash, you can use like a line of credit against your house or something, or private money, and then you fix it up, and then now you got a new appraisal, and you can get 70% of that back. And even if you have a little on the table, let's say Steve still had 20 grand on the table, he's making 10 a year. It's 50% return.
Right.
So the fact you have nothing in it is even better. That's impressive.
Yeah, my goal is always try to get the infinite returns. Therefore, I try to get all money back.
Right.
I choose those kind of
get it all back, and
my
still another cash flow. It'd be great.
Yeah, my another same pattern is like this. I bought for $105. This is a short sale deal, and then I spent $70,000. Then I put property on the market yesterday, and $320,000.
Very nice.
Right, and then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get lease option term by this weekend. $320,000. My rent is $2,250. Then I'm gonna get refinance $220,000 more. Then I'm gonna get all money back with the team.
All your money back and then some.
Right.
That's good. It's always great to walk out with money, isn't it? So, and how much do you usually get down from your tenant buyer?
Yeah, lease option. In the case of lease option, that depends on the area. In the south side of Chicago, I usually expect at least 5% to 7%.
Well, that much. That's good.
Right. And then for this time, I didn't expect this much, but the one lady put the $30,000, $270,000 option price. One lady said $30,000.
Wow. That's impressive. Yeah. That's only happened to me once or twice where, I was asking like 5% and they go, can I put more? That's my arm. And I assume you're not selling these with a real estate agent, right? You're just doing it.
No, agents are not involved at all. Therefore, I know that the people who has money but who can get loan approved are more than the qualified loan buyer. That's why.
Right.
If I put property on the market through Zillow, Turia, or Facebook Marketplace, so many people apply, so many people see, so many people apply. Last time when I had the lease option open house, one property in the south side of Chicago, 300 people sent me email. The 100 people came to see property.
100 people?
Right. 100 people came to see the property.
That's pretty impressive. Now you're out looking for other properties for them? The other 99? So for the other 99 who didn't buy,
right,
you're going to go find some other properties.
Right, exactly. Then 19 people submitted application with the $40. Then I chose 3 and I picked up 1. But this lady put the $15 lease option cancellation and then $1,900 monthly rent. Then
Impressive. That's impressive. That's really good. And I love about lease options is if you buy and fix and flip, it's an ordinary gain. It's a short-term gain.
right.
If you buy and then lease option and then they buy it 12 months or more later, it's a 20% rate. It's a short-term, a long-term capital gain. When they exercise, if they do you just cash out or do you exchange it into something else?
Yeah, usually, I know I have to do it 1031 exchange very soon, but I usually cash out.
That 20% rate is not the worst. It's not the worst. I mean, if you make, $100,000 on the back end and you have to pay $20,000 in taxes, that's not awful. Not awful because you still made 80. So it's not a bad thing.
Right.
All right. And usually how do you find your tenant buyers? You just put ads on Craigslist, but signs?
Yeah, as I said, tenant buy is very easy for me.
Yeah.
And therefore I put property on the market through Zillow, Trulia, and Facebook Marketplace. That's it. Those 3 locations.
Marketplace,
Yeah. Enough people come. I don't know, Craigslist, it almost died. Nothing happens.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like Craigslist all of a sudden is taking a back seat to that Facebook Marketplace with everything. Even
right.
like I was trying to find employees. I put an ad on Craigslist. I got 2 responses.
Okay.
I couldn't believe it. I usually I would get 50 a day for a job to work for me. But when I put it on Facebook Marketplace, I got many, many, many more.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, great. All right, so you buy them, fix them, refi them, sell and lease option. That's your mixed model.
Yeah, I have another pattern. Okay, this is also one of the super deal last year, and I do subject to purchase. And this is January last year, over 1 year ago. I bought one property. It's a 2 units building near University of Chicago, the newly built in 2015. Okay, owner bought this house, thinking to do house hacking, but the tenant on the second floor stopped paying. Then owner lost a job, and all of a sudden it's pre-foreclosure. Then I met her, and the mortgage payment was 1 year behind. Now, this is interesting, okay? And then she got that job. She started making some money, and then lender offered loan modification.
Right.
And then that was my decision. She needed to go through 3 months test period, and then she didn't have money. Then I decided to help her after I get that deed.
Of course.
Then
not before.
I got the deed.
Let's back up a second. So she was behind in payments for a year.
Right.
The bank offered her a modification with a test period, which they usually do. If you make your payment 3 months in a row, then we'll continue this for a longer period of time.
Right.
And so she didn't have the 3 months.
That's right. She had only 1 month, and she didn't have 3 months. That's why my decision. Of course, my attorney opposed strongly. Steve, you are taking risks. Yes, I'm taking risks, but I believe that loan modification gonna be done. Then it was possible. She could do the loan modification. Then monthly payment became $1,333. The interest rate is very low, 3%. Then total loan amount is $198. Then I took over the mortgage payment. Of course, I got already deed. Then and I spent a little bit of money to make it nice house, and then I rented out $2,900 a month. And then what happened is 10 months later, this property has a lots of equity in the house. I bought for $198. This is the exact loan amount. And value came back for $380.
Wow. How much money did you give her to give you the deed?
$15,000.
15. Oh my God. He was motivated. Okay. And then, but you fixed her credit basically by paying her payment on time, right? Because she had a
anyway,
for back payments.
yes, that's right. I stopped paying from September, and then I got she moved out in January, and then I fixed up and rented out in March. Then last November, but it came back for $380,000. I got $80,000 cash out, and then my monthly payment is $1,620.
And what does it rent for?
1,450 for each unit. That's what.
Oh, it's more than one unit.
Right, the $2,900 a month. And my loan payment is $1,620 a month.
Very nice. And how much cash did you get on the refi?
$80,000.
Woo! That's nice. Where'd you go on vacation? Because for those of you who don't know that, that's not taxable money. That's just borrowing against your equity, which is fine because you still have positive cash flow, right? So that's okay to do. The property still has equity. It'll still probably go up in value. The rents will continue to go up, and Steve will make more cash flows. But that's great. That's an awesome deal, man. They don't happen every day of the week, but they can happen any day of the week. So if you're looking, because it's amazing because people will say there's no deals. There's just no deals out there, and it's crazy. That have you ever considered or have you tried selling them on a contract for deed instead of a lease option?
That's a great important question for me right now. I'm seriously thinking to do one land contract in Indiana. Okay, I still 100%. I'm not 100% sure which is more beneficial. Okay?
Yeah, usually on the higher end homes, the contract for deed works better because you get more principal and interest than you would rent.
Yeah.
Lower end homes, the rent to own is clearly the winner.
Then if I trade right now, if I refinance, interest rate is like about 6%, right? Therefore, I have to charge maybe 9% or 10%.
Right.
And I was wondering how long these people can keep this contract. They might get the loan approved as soon as possible and pay me off. If that's the case,
instead of charging them 9% interest, so you're paying 6, charge them 8 or 7.99, right? And then just make the loan 25 years, so which will make the payment bigger.
All right, but
the loan amortization 25 years instead of 30, and then you'll get a bigger payment.
Still, there might be the possibility they're gonna pay me off, right?
They're gonna pay you off, and that would really stink. It's amazing to me. People's biggest worry is, what if the bank finds out and calls the loan due? I'm like, that's not the biggest fear. Or what if they don't make payments and I have to foreclose them? That's not my biggest fear. My biggest fear is, like you said, they refinance and the gravy train's over.
Right. Therefore, I'm thinking to have a big prepayment penalty for first 5 years. At least I want them to have at least 5 years contract for deed.
Right, exactly. Put a prepayment penalty. And look, the worst. I mean, if you have a lot of equity, it's not the end of the world if they cash.
Right.
Yeah, it's a toss up sometimes between, do I sell on a rent to own or do I sell on a contract for deed? I've sold properties a lot on contract for deed where they were lower end properties, but it needed so much work that I just didn't want to put the money in. So I sold it as a junker contract for deed. So like instead of getting 30 grand down, look, give me 10 down and I sell it to a contractor and you do the work and I'll give you a credit, for the work as part of your down payment.
Work for equity.
Right. They work in exchange for down payment. Yeah.
I'm thinking to do that.
Great. Fantastic. Well, everyone's we're getting lots of positive feedback here. Let's see. We got some people on Facebook, some people on, for those of you who are watching, if you have any questions for Steve here, that we want to present, don't be shy about popping some questions and we'll we'll do that. In the meantime, you see scrolling across the bottom is Steve's YouTube channel, United Vision Investment, where I'm sure he's got great information, inspiration, and motivation for people. And you are an unbelievable inspiration for people who, use every excuse in the book why it won't work. You got involved full time with both feet, which was brave. And you succeeded. It took you 2 years to do your first short sale, which is about par, then. And you've done a lot of deals, a lot of wholesales, a lot of fix and flips, over 200 deals. And you have a lot of rental properties bringing you a lot of income. And I'm really congratulate you on your success. I thank you for being willing to share it with other people, to motivate them as well, and to understand that there are deals, even though it's a crazy, quote, seller's market. Yeah, it is. However, there's an advantage to that, because if you find a motivated person, and there are people with problems in every market, there's always someone who's, getting divorced, lost their job, in foreclosure, even in a hot market, who don't go to a realtor and list it. And you're obviously finding those people very well. You have a good system to do that. But on the back end, look how much money you're making, because rents keep going up every year.
Right.
Prices keep going up every year. So you're killing it on the back end. So in a hot market, you buy, a little bit of a discount, but you sell at a premium. In an average market, you buy below and sell it at. And in a bad market, you buy it really cheap and hold it. Right. So there's always ways to make money in every real estate market.
Right.
Cycles already. I've invested in 12 states, and I'm telling you, it's just there's always deals out there. So don't listen to the naysayers, and especially the realtors who tell you it's impossible. You got to pay cash. You got to overbid. That's not the way to make money in real estate.
Right.
Not the way to make money in real estate.
Always motivated seller exists.
Right. That's right. So any parting thoughts for our viewers, who are just getting started and maybe, want to hear some words of inspiration or motivation about, what's out there and how you make money?
This is what I realized 15 years ago when I started. As I mentioned in the beginning, I had no idea about this business. I have no experience. Even I have to learn English too, right? And then my attorney was pushing me to quit. He was saying that, Steve, you never make money in this business. You shouldn't do this. Quit. And then eventually he fired me, saying, Steve, I'm no longer an attorney. Then at that time I thought, how I win this game. And then I thought this business, real estate investment business, there are so many people. There are so many people who know this business way more than me, right? So many people knows, even today, so many people knows so many details about these strategies or financial issues, legal issues, way more than me. But I think one of the reasons I could stay in this business like this is I focus finding properties. I focus finding money. That's the most important real estate investors' activity, daily activity. Therefore, I talk to the people all the time and asking them if they know somebody who is looking to sell the house. Let me know. I'm going to give you $1,000 referral fee. And I always talking people like this and then getting referral all the time. I think that's one of the most important activities in my business.
Right. And that's so important, because so many people get caught up in paralysis of analysis, and that they talk themselves out of doing anything. People say, oh, I'm afraid to make an offer because they might say no. I think most people are afraid to make an offer because they're afraid the seller might say yes. And then they're going to go, holy crap, what do I do now?
Right.
And Matt, the great thing is, if you have a good deal, the money will find you. And if you don't know the details, you can always hire professionals to help you through the mechanics. I mean, the important thing is you got a motivated seller who wants to deal, and there's a deal to be made, and you understand how to make that deal. And then on the back end, there's someone who wants to rent it or buy it or finance it or partner with you or buy it from you or whatever. So don't get too lost in the sauce, so to speak, with all the little details of what happens from point A to point B. Focus on, like Steve said, and it's a great question. You ask yourself, how do I make this work for me? And that's a great question, because most people ask themselves, like, why isn't this working for me? And your brain, you're an idiot. That's why. You have to ask good questions, and your brain gives you good answers. When you ask, how do I make this happen? How do I make this work for me? Your brain answers with the right answers. So that's really, really important. I want to underline what you said right from the beginning. And I want to thank you so much for being willing to share your experience and your business with us and all the watchers. And I'm sure you're going to get lots of emails and comments on your YouTube channel from this, from people who watch the replay on our Facebook group and on YouTube. So thank you, Steve.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Everybody, thanks for coming. God bless. Have a great day.
Thank you.